Today is Friday, June 6th. What happened between President Trump and Elon Musk? Their former alliance has now turned into a full-blown public feud with political power and billions of dollars at stake. Also, 3 new unanimous Supreme Court rulings to tell you about, including one that's expected to open the door to more reverse discrimination lawsuits. Plus, Amazon is training a new kind of delivery worker that isn't human. Aaron Rodgers picks a new team with a high-profile showdown set to open the season. And where to score free donuts for National Donut Day. Those stories and even more news to know coming up. Welcome to The Newsworthy. All the day's news in around 10 minutes. Fast, fair, fun, and on the go. I'm Erica Mandy. Thanks so much for being here. You ready? Let's do this. The close relationship between 2 of the most powerful men in the world, President Trump and Elon Musk, has erupted into a public feud with insults, threats, and billions of dollars on the line. The fallout began after Musk slammed Trump's big beautiful bill, calling it a disgusting abomination that would add trillions to the national debt. Trump fired back, accusing Musk of being motivated by the bill's cuts to electric vehicle subsidies, a move that could hurt Musk's company, Tesla. The president said Musk was suffering from Trump derangement syndrome and threatened to terminate federal contracts with his companies, including SpaceX and Starlink. Musk later threatened to ground the spacecraft used to shuttle NASA astronauts and cargo to the space station. Musk, who donated hundreds of millions of dollars to Trump's 2024 campaign, also claimed yesterday Trump would have lost the election without his support and called Trump ungrateful. He accused Trump of being mentioned in unreleased Jeffrey Epstein files, floated the idea of forming a new political party, and even backed a call for the president's impeachment and removal from office. The White House responded last night, calling it an unfortunate episode from Elon. The feud has already shaken markets. Tesla's stock ended the day yesterday down 14%, wiping out $150 billion in market value. Though by last night it seemed Musk may have been trying to de-escalate. When billionaire Bill Ackman suggested on X that the 2 make peace for the good of the country, Musk responded with, quote, "You're not wrong." To be continued. The U.S. Supreme Court unanimously sided with a woman who says she faced so-called reverse discrimination at work. The decision will now make it easier for people in majority groups, like white and heterosexual people, to sue under federal civil rights law. The case out of Ohio involves a woman who says she lost out on a promotion and was demoted because she's straight. The job she wanted and the one she had went to LGBTQ people. To be clear, the High Court's decision does not mean she was actually discriminated against. It just clarifies the legal standard and allows the woman to pursue her lawsuit under the same rule as anyone else. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson wrote the court's opinion, saying the federal law protects all individuals from discrimination and that, quote, Congress left no room for courts to impose special requirements on majority group plaintiffs alone. Justice Clarence Thomas went even further in a separate opinion, calling out what he described as an obsession with DEI initiatives. Bottom line, this ruling now lowers the bar for active reverse discrimination claims in 20 states and D.C. and could impact future lawsuits, too. Separately, the U.S. Supreme Court made a series of other decisions, including a unanimous ruling to reject Mexico's lawsuit against American gun makers, ruling the companies cannot be held liable for gun violence in Mexico. And in another unanimous ruling in a religious rights case, the justices backed a Catholic charity that had been denied a tax exemption, saying Wisconsin's tax rules had unfairly favored groups with a more overtly religious tone in their daily work, a violation of the First Amendment. The U.S. reported a huge drop in its trade deficit. That's the gap between what America buys from other countries and what it sells. In fact, the deficit shrank by more than half in April to just over $61 billion. That's the biggest drop on record, largely because imports also fell by a record amount in April. Experts say the tumble in imports, or foreign goods coming into the U.S., is likely tied to tariffs and economic uncertainty. Businesses are still working through inventories they had rushed to stock up on earlier this year ahead of tariff hikes, so they started ordering less. Some may see this as a win for the Trump administration's push to reduce dependence on foreign goods, but economists warn international trade has long benefited the U.S. economy, and this could signal slower demand at home. Separately, President Trump and China's President Xi Jinping got on the phone yesterday for the first time since their trade war escalated. The 2 leaders talked for more than an hour and agreed to restart negotiations and extend invitations for state visits, though at this point, no dates have been announced. All right, we have much more news for you still ahead, but first, thanks to our sponsor, Quince. For Father's Day, I've got my own dad and my husband to shop for, so I'm glad Quince makes it easy to find gifts that actually feel thoughtful without making it really stressful. Simple and solid and great options for everyone. For example, my husband loves a stylish yet comfortable pair of shorts for the summer, so I'm finding some great quality options on Quince that I think he'll love. And I always appreciate that no matter what I get from Quince, everything is priced 50 to 80% less than what you'd find from similar brands. By working directly with top artisans and cutting out the middlemen, Quince gives you luxury pieces without the crazy markups. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. For the dads who deserve better than basic, Quince has you covered. Go to quince.com/newsworthy for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/newsworthy to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/newsworthy. Now back to the news. Amazon is apparently now testing humanoid robots to deliver packages. A new report from The Information, citing an anonymous source involved in the project, says Amazon is building what it calls a humanoid park, an obstacle course inside a San Francisco office where these robots will apparently practice jumping out of a Rivian electric van to bring packages to your door. The tech giant is also launching a new AI team to help power these robots with more human-like flexibility so they can understand and act on natural language commands. Amazon is already using a variety of autonomous robots in its warehouse operations, but this would be a bigger push toward fully automating delivery from warehouse to doorstep. Of course, hundreds of thousands of real people currently handle Amazon's delivery operations globally, so it's not clear what happens to those jobs and when this might become a reality. The company behind household staples like Tide, Pampers, and Bounty announced plans to cut about 15% of its office jobs over the next 2 years. That's 7,000 jobs globally, though most factory roles will not be impacted. Procter & Gamble says the move is part of a larger restructuring meant to streamline operations and give teams broader roles. The company is also trimming its product lineup, though it hasn't said yet which ones might go. Earlier this year, P&G warned it might need to raise prices or change product formulas to adapt to the impact of tariffs. After weeks of waiting and speculation, four-time NFL MVP Aaron Rodgers has picked a new home. Several reports cite sources who say Rodgers will sign a one-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers today and attend the team's mandatory minicamp next week. Rodgers' decision comes after a turbulent stint with the New York Jets, where he suffered a season-ending injury in 2023, then returned last year but struggled, and the Jets released him earlier this year, paving the way for his move to Pittsburgh. The Steelers have rotated through several starting quarterbacks, so Rodgers' arrival is expected to bring some consistency to the position, but the decision to sign Rodgers still might be a polarizing one for Pittsburgh fans. Either way, many will be eagerly awaiting Week 1 in September, when the Steelers will open the season on the road against Rodgers' former team, the Jets, in a highly anticipated matchup. The Nintendo Switch 2 officially launched yesterday, and it's already a global hit. From Tokyo to New York, fans lined up overnight to get their hands on the new console. In Japan, over 2 million people entered a lottery for a limited number of units. In the U.S., pre-orders sold out weeks ago, and launch day inventory at retailers like Best Buy, Walmart, and Target were quickly gone. Target apparently plans to open more online availability sometime early this morning. Nintendo expects to sell 15 million units by March of next year, though analysts say that's actually a conservative estimate given the early demand. The Switch 2 is the successor to one of Nintendo's most popular consoles. Their popularity is widely credited to its innovative portable design, which merged consoles with mobile gaming. The Switch 2 is priced at $449 in the US, making it Nintendo's most expensive console to date. For the first time ever, a Broadway play will be broadcast live on TV. CNN announced it will air the play Good Night and Good Luck, starring George Clooney as journalist Edward R. Murrow, live from Broadway's Winter Garden Theater this Saturday. Clooney said he's excited to do something that's never been done, adding, quote, "Live TV, no net, buckle up, everyone." The play is an adaptation of the 2005 movie Clooney directed of the same name. The production is now nominated for 5 Tony Awards, including Best Actor for Clooney, and it recently became the highest-grossing play in Broadway history. The live broadcast will be available on CNN, CNN.com, and on CNN's TV and mobile apps, no cable login required. It will also stream on Max. After the performance, Anderson Cooper will host a special discussion on the state of global journalism, featuring journalists and media analysts. The final Broadway performance of Good Night and Good Luck will then be the next day on Sunday, the same day as the Tony Awards. Today is National Donut Day, and several major chains are giving out freebies and deals to celebrate. For example, Krispy Kreme is giving away a free donut for each customer, or if you buy a dozen donuts, you can get a second dozen for just $2. Also, Dunkin' fans can get a free donut when they buy any drink, and 7-Eleven loyalty members can get a glazed donut for 50 cents today or get glazed donuts for $1 now through June 24th. Plus, check out your local and regional shops. A lot of them have deals going today, too. That's it for the main news today, so now it's time for Feel Good Friday, when we bring you one extra feel-good or positive news story before the weekend. But first, a quick break to thank our sponsor, ZocDoc. If you're taking time out of your busy schedule to see a doctor, you want that doctor to know what they're talking about and make you feel seen and heard. If that's not what you're getting, it might be time to find someone new. And thanks to ZocDoc, your search just got easier. Whether you want to find some relief from allergy season right now, or deal with a new issue, or just get a checkup, ZocDoc can help. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality, in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. ZocDoc has doctors across every specialty, from mental health to dental health, primary care to urgent care, and more. My favorite thing about it is that you can filter for not only your location, but also your insurance. I find that really convenient. Plus, appointments made through ZocDoc happen fast, typically within just 24 to 72 hours of booking. You can even score same-day appointments. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/newsworthy to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc, ZocDoc.com/newsworthy. ZocDoc.com/newsworthy. Now back to Feel Good Friday. When a nurse in northern Uganda started his first job, he thought he'd be handing out medicine. Instead, Francis Asiku realized what many of his patients really needed was nutritious food. So after seeing birds eating rotting mangoes on his walk home, he had an idea: preserve that fruit and feed the community. He and his brother launched the Mango Project, collecting mangoes, preserving them in jars, and distributing them to schools, clinics, and families in need. During the pandemic alone, they helped distribute more than 12,000 jars to health clinics and refugee settlements. They've since added a solar-powered dryer to expand to veggies like okra and eggplant, which will help fill nutritional gaps that mangoes alone can't cover. It doesn't solve the problem of malnutrition in the region, but Asiku says it's a meaningful start. And in his words, quote, "It's fulfilling to see my people smiling at the end of the day." Well, thank you so much for listening today. A quick reminder that we depend on you, our listeners, to keep doing this show. So if you get value out of it, please tell others why you like to listen. We so appreciate you helping spread the word. We'll be back tomorrow with a special edition Saturday episode about why Americans are drinking less alcohol and what it means for our culture, social lives, and the future of the alcohol industry. That'll be in your podcast feed tomorrow morning. Then join us again on Monday for another 10-minute daily news roundup. For now, thanks again for listening and have a great weekend.